Welcome back to another episode of the Sit Down Talk. My name is Kier, and I'm Noémie. Yeah, we welcome you.
I'm out. I'm done.
No,
I quit.
don't
He can do this by
leave
himself.
me, girl. Welcome back to another episode of the Sit Down Talk, where sometimes our jokes don't land. My name is Kier,
And I'm Noémie.
and we welcome you. Clap it up for you for being up in this joint today, like you will. It's like your wheels. If this is your first time here, I welcome you. She welcomes you. We welcome you. But if you are a group of people that we like to call the repeat offenders, terrible name, tremendous group of people. Come on, bring that in. Bring it in. I know you ain't stopped by my house and ain't bringing nothing. Did you stop by here and you ain't bringing nothing? You one of those people? Because I'm judging you. It's all right. Just go sit down. I didn't mean to talk to you like that. That's not, what am I?
I don't know. This is like the second time.
I know.
What's up?
I must feel aware.
You're like turning into the like uncle that just has words and it's just
Uncle
like
is crazy.
like we good, we chilling.
Uncle
Cool.
is crazier.
I feel like after 35, you're like an uncle or auntie.
No,
like,
man. It depends. It depends on the age of the person who's calling you uncle or auntie. Like if you in a 15-year gap, you gotta cross that 15-year threshold to be able to call me uncle. If I'm 38 and you like 28, don't call me uncle, bro. Like I ain't your uncle.
Yeah.
I'm like your oldest cousin, but I ain't your uncle.
I think it's more about like accomplishments and where you at. Like you're a whole dad. Like you like the man of the house. You paying real bills. You've been an adult since you were 18. Like you act more like an uncle than like somebody who just turned 30 a couple years ago.
Nah, that's real.
You've been grown for a really long time.
I've been grown for too long. I'm tired. But for me, uncle, when I was growing up in DC, unc is and auntie, they're slang for people who are like dangerously addicted to drugs. So unc is the dude who stands at the corner store and be like, "Hey nephew, let me get $1. Let me hold a little something." So that don't work for me. But you can call me big cousin. You can call me Kier.
I feel like the 20-year-olds are the big cuz.
Yeah, them the cousins that step off at Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Go tap the blunt a few
We
times.
can't step off because we watching our kids.
Nah, we got the kids.
we unk.
Yeah.
Auntie.
Yeah.
I mean, more people call me auntie than anything else because all my friends got kids.
You the thick young auntie.
Yeah, I'm the thick mama. I love that.
Thick mama?
I always say that I'm Emery's thick mama coming up at the school.
Lord, come on. That's
Always wanted to.
that's so heavy. Always wanted to be the thick mama.
Always wanted to be Emery's thick ass mama.
That's crazy. We have veered off the beaten path.
That's not even what we talking about today.
It ain't even close to what we talking about today. We
Hi
just,
guys, how are you?
man, we are in a good mood today.
Yeah.
Today is a mood of goodness, and I am abundantly thankful
All right,
for.
come on, let's
What we talking? You want to intro it today?
Yeah, today's topic is really coming from a question. And a lot of it, of course, is going to stem from our relationship and how we kind of help each other in a relationship, how we support each other in a relationship. But a question that keeps popping into my mind is like, what do I need from you? Not only is that a hard question for me to answer when he asks, I also think it's a hard question to decipher even when you get the answer from your partner. But like, how do we get to a place, because Kier and I aren't even there yet, where I think that I at least answer the question adequately, because I don't even know the answer myself.
In terms of what you need?
What I need.
It depends. Sometimes you can answer it a little bit better than others, because sometimes it's like multifactorial. It's a lot of things to consider. What do I need in the sense of what? Physically, emotionally?
Yeah. Or what do you see that I don't see? You know, like there's so many ways to communicate that question and that answer. And I kind of want to walk through how we kind of do it. And then also try to answer the question at the end, like, what do we need kind of walking into the new year as far as support from our partner right now? Because things are about to change. Kier is on the heels of 1 million followers.
By the time y'all see this, we should be at 1 mil.
Ooh, and when I tell you this year has been a tough year, us trying to figure out like this space and, you know, who are we together? Who is he individually? Do I have a lane for myself? And I just feel like reaching that 1 million mark, it's really going to open some doors and it's going to give him the freedom to really try to figure out where do you want to go next. You know, you can leverage that with brand deals. You can leverage that with speaking engagements. You can leverage that with the book that's coming out.
Yeah, I'm writing a book.
Yes, so much is happening, but and everything is happening quickly. So I think that this is a much needed conversation anyway.
Yeah. And I'll add to that. It's hard for me to answer the question because I think in some parts the way that I was raised, and I think in other parts the way my brain is oriented, my brain is a little fixated with negativity sometimes. And it's easier for me to tell you what I don't like. And I know I've said this here before. It's easier for me to tell you what I don't like than what I do.
Yeah.
And I don't have a lot of practice just searching my mind and searching my heart and trying to figure out what's missing. And then what's even harder for me is to ask you to help fill in the gaps of what's needed.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I'm hyper independent to a fault a lot of the times. So this gonna be a real life conversation because I don't really know what I need, but I'm down for talking through it and figuring something out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So before we head like straight into the question, why don't we do like a check on where we're at in the relationship?
Okay.
Do you feel supported right now?
Yeah. I do. I feel supported because it's like two parts of me. It's the businessman, brand, entrepreneur, owner, CEO, all the stuff. I feel super supported. Noémie, of course, she do her stay-at-home mom thing, but she's also like the co-pilot on this airplane. If I'm right here on the left holding the gears, she right there on the right holding the gears. We consult each other for everything. This is definitely a business that we run together. And she has a large amount of input on what goes on and how it works. So I feel supported in that regard. In terms of just like personal, I feel supported. And I'll put this caveat, like as much as I can be in the moment, I don't know how much you can do for me outside of what you're already doing.
Right.
And the kids take up so much, and I don't blame you for that because I know it's times when you want to be with me, and the kids are in the way
like right now.
Yeah, they in the way, and she like, I just want to hold you, and I'm like, I know, I got kids, and she like, damn, that's why I don't date dudes with kids. I'm like, I know, it's terrible, but it's
especially active fathers.
Yeah,
you don't get no time.
Nah, we don't got no voice. Y'all don't know what this struggle's like. But I feel like you're there for me as much as you can be. Like sometimes you just be like, babe, you ain't eat. You want me to order lunch, or you want me to like that. That works. Or sometimes I'm like, man, I just need a hug. You know, I'm getting better at asking for physical affection. Yeah. So
you're definitely a physical like affection type.
I am, but but also I recognize that in many ways you're not.
I'm not.
You're not. And also you be touched out like I be talked out. Yeah. So I gotta
that is a really good I never thought about it that way. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why now when you be like, baby, I'm down to like ramble about my brain right now. You wanna hear it? And I still a lot of times the answer be no, I don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
But I don't.
You answer in your face before you answer.
Like,
but I don't take it personally.
Yeah, like I'm having quiet time. Please don't yap me to death. But sometimes, even though I'm not in the mood, I see that you're excited, and I'm willing to like take a step back and let you have that space, regardless of how I feel. I mean, it's give and take, man. But I feel as supported as I can be. One thing I'll say this here on the sit down talk that I'm thankful for: the sexual relationship.
You taking it there?
I'm taken care of, man. And I know the whole thing. I read bell hooks, and I know men feel entitled to sex. That ain't what this is, all right? But I'm thankful that I'm not in a space, even with all this stuff going on in my life, where sex is some type of, well, if you do the dishes more, then maybe we'll, like, I get why that exists, you know, but we don't got nothing like that. And I'm glad it's not. I know that it's something that we mutually enjoy. I know it's something that mutually gratifies us.
I wasn't mature
enough. It's cool. It's fine.
I didn't know we
and I know your mom. Hold on. I know your mom watching.
My mom's like, yes, take care of that man.
Yeah, she's pro.
I taught her
us
well.
Getting it in. Yeah,
all the time.
She's very pro. too pro.
Like, fall back. We good over here.
We Gucci, mama. Be cool on that. But yeah, man. That helps a lot. Yeah. Yeah, and you know how to fall back.
Yeah.
You know when to push in. You know when to give criticism.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I feel good.
I feel like we're also the same. First of all, I hate hustle culture. I hate that term, but like we are in a like grinding kind of space. And one thing that I like love about Kier is like him and I are on the same page when it comes to getting business done. Like neither one of us like independently, we have always been those kind of people. Like, let's get it done.
Even highly in ambitious. America, that's how we've been.
Highly ambitious. Yeah. Maybe not gunner, but if I'm gonna put my name on it, it's gonna be done right at the end of the day. And
got to look decent.
Yeah, and I think that us both having that personality is really helpful because like we get it done. And that's one thing that I'm always confident in our relationship is like whatever needs to be done, Kier and I are going to figure it out and we're going to get it done. The process might not be cute.
I don't know what we're going to feel like afterwards,
right.
but
And we can also separate the personal from the professional when it comes to getting stuff done.
For sure.
Everybody can't do that, and we couldn't always do that.
It took a lot of practice.
Yeah, it did. It took a lot of practice. For sure. You want me to answer the question too?
Yeah, how do you feel? Do you feel don't let my answer influence yours. You could be like, nah, you ain't supporting me, dog.
So to be honest, I'm gonna say it the same way that you said it before. I think you are supporting me as much as you can right now, but going back to like the grind culture and me mentioning before, like Kier's, literally days away from 1 million followers at this point. And I just think that like he has really put his foot on the gas when it came to his career. And in a way, I still feel like that's you taking care of me because I don't pay bills. Let's just keep it 1,000. At this point, I'm not paying no bills. I'm just spending money at this point. So it's just like the ways that I think I need more support is like I need to get flued out to Florida so somebody can take care of me. You know what I mean? Like I need somebody to like make meals for the week and stuff like that. But as far as me not feeling bad about like ordering DoorDash 3 times this week or, taking myself out to lunch because the day has been overwhelming. Like, I think that you give me the room and the space to take care of myself because at this point, it's really not your job to take care of me. Like in this way.
Man.
What'd I say?
Thank you for that. That's so liberating. You just set me free with that because I think the overwhelming voice, just as a boy who grew into a man, is your wife is not your mother. You cannot require the things out of your wife that you require out of your mother. That's a double standard. You don't have that same thing. It is perfectly okay for you to require the things out of me that you would require from a father.
Yeah, that
and
is
nobody
true.
bats an eyelash.
It's like an expectation.
It isn't. It's an over expectation. And when you don't meet that expectation as a man, you are punished by your partner in society.
Yeah.
And it's so unfair. There are ways that I can't take care of you. I can't be your mom.
Yeah.
I can't do that. And you know how easy it will be for you to blame me for that and treat me in a certain way and make me feel like less of a man for not assuming a position that was never mine to take hold of.
That's real.
Yeah, it happens all the time in people's relationships.
I never even thought about that.
It's a crazy double standard. It's one of many double standards. We're so ridiculous as humans.
I swear, the more that we talk, the more I realize like certain privileges that I had growing up. Because it's like, I'm even thinking about like my parents. Like my dad didn't really take care. My dad was there to support, but my mom had her sisters. My mom had her friends. Like she didn't require, like her entire life was not like me and my dad. Like she had my mom used to go on girls trips. Like she'd be gone in the Bahamas with her girls. I wouldn't even know, what's going on. And I think my mom did a really good job at taking care of herself. I mean, I don't know how she got there, but I grew up with the example of like you being able to take or at least refill yourself from different parts of your life. Everything can't be in one. My mom used to always tell me like your man should never be your everything. Like she always,
1,000.
that was not even.
Man, that makes you make so much sense because if I was your everything, this relationship wouldn't work.
God, especially right now. You know how hard it would be right now?
Man.
You hitting 1 million, I got 500 subscribers.
Oh, the jealousy between
jealousy
partners in
would
a
be
relationship,
so
it'd be
bad.
crazy.
It would be so bad.
And I think you would put too much on me to do all of this and still do all of that at the same clip. And I think that'd be too much for me. I would try.
Yeah.
And I would die trying. But the key word there is die.
Die. We don't need that right now. We need you here.
Nah, I need to be alive and well, man. Yeah.
But yeah, going back to the question, I do think you take care of me. I think that you are the best way that I think that you take care of me right now is that you're a safe place to land for me because I'm having a lot of, just to keep it 1,000 with you, I'm just having a lot of feelings. Like I just got a lot of feelings. I'm in
it's a tender time for you right now.
Yeah, it's a really tender time. It's almost 2 years since I left my job as a lawyer. I don't feel connected to the law at all. I don't feel connected to such a large part of my life. Like everything that I did before 30, outside of the friends that I still have, like everything is so different. And I'm learning like the life that I'm living now is not only a life that I never expected to live, but it's a life I never even planned to live. It's not even the dream. I mean, it's better than my dream, to be honest with you. But it's a lot of me trying to figure out navigating being a stay-at-home mom to 2 kids, navigating being an entrepreneur, navigating not necessarily having a job that I have my own money
Making
for.
your own money, that's a big deal.
Right.
Yeah.
We have long-term goals. We're investing a lot of money, a lot of time into, yes, it's our business, but it's still your front-facing career.
Yeah.
And it's just like, as a woman who's highly ambitious, I honestly thought it would be more difficult for me than it is.
I thought it'd be harder for you too.
And that's not the hard part. The hard part is, because I care about my family so much and because I care about this business so much, is that I'm not taking as much time, even outside of my own business, just to take care of Noémie the person. I think I'm so focused on, okay, like, how can I help? How can I do this? How can I take this off of your plate? How can I make sure the kids are ahead here? And it's just like, wait a second. Like, hey, boo, are you okay? Like, girl, are you okay? So I think, like, yes, you are doing, like, I don't know that there's anything like that I need for you to do. I think I just need for you to kind of remind me who I am, because it's such a strange place.
Yeah, and I got you in that, because I see that, and like some of the things that I do on my side that I don't know if you see. You don't necessarily have to, but I know that you feel that way. So sometimes I'll just randomly tell Noémie, like, hey, like, you're doing a good job, or like, you're doing enough, even if it don't feel that way. And she'll fight me sometimes. Yeah, she'll fight me a little bit sometimes, but lately she's been doing a good job of just, like, she'll be about to fight me on that. She's like, you know what? Thank you. I'll be like, babe, take the compliment. Take the compliment. Take the compliment. And because you like me, you're a hard worker. You like working for your money. You like seeing your money in your hand. And I think to give that up in order for a life that does feel more fulfilling in the long run, I don't think that sense of fulfillment exists to the elimination of all the smaller difficulties and the adjustment from where you were to where you are. Real talk though, I encourage you on doing things that make you feel good, like the vlog.
Yeah.
You know, I just try to be a thought partner for you. I try not to give you a whole bunch of suggestions either way, and I try to make sure you always feel, that's what it is. I try to make sure you always feel included. I mention you everywhere. I always say, hey, we. If you hear me, I never say I. We. This what we doing. We doing this. We doing this. I don't ever want you to feel like in all of this Hollywood and all of the stuff I'm involved in that you being left behind.
Yeah.
I don't ever want you to feel that way.
That is not a huge fear or concern of mine, but it is a realistic thing that happened in these spaces. And I think that I have seen how you include me in everything, and I love how you do that, and I'm glad that you're doing that, because if you didn't, it only takes one instance for me to not feel included for all of those thoughts to come into my head. So it is, I mean,
we've had that happen before. We've had that happen before.
But yeah, I'm trying to think, like, what do I need from you? I think I need you to continue to be my thought partner. I need you to basically just continue to be by my side while I'm trying to figure this out, because I think career-wise, this is the biggest point of separation for us. Like, I think you're about to go off and do some amazing things.
Yeah, I feel it coming. Something big is about to happen.
And as much as I love the sit down talk, I think what's happening is way bigger than this. You know what I mean? This is something that's going to be its own thing, and Kier Gaines, the brand, is just like going somewhere.
Yeah, and I'm taking y'all with me. You know, it don't feel the same. Like, keep in mind, no matter where I go, this is my hub. I remember one of my homies was getting married. Quick story time. I remember one of my homies was getting married, and him and his mom have a really unique relationship. A lot of dependence on him from her. She depends on him a lot, and too much so in some junctures. Mom was taking forever to get to the wedding. Wedding was, delayed. It was getting crazy. Future wife was getting upset, and I had to talk with him, and he's like, yo, I gotta wait for my mom to get here. And I'm like, bro, it's like, you getting married now. When you get married, the hub you had before, your mom, your dad, your brothers, your sisters, that was your hub. This is your hub now. The only thing that matters for real is you and her. You gotta start the wedding, bro. Gotta start the wedding. Thankfully, mom walked in. I don't know if that was the best advice, but as a married man, like, you gotta realize once you get married, that is your family. That's your hub. That's your focal point now.
I think that was good advice.
Yeah.
Just from my friends, you hear this story all the time. Like, how do you manage the relationship with your parents versus the relationship with your partner when you get married? And
that could be tough.
I don't think that's just an issue with a husband. You know what I mean?
No,
or a
of
man.
course not. Of course
but
not.
like that's a really hard thing to like navigate. Do you feel like we dealt with that at all?
I mean, you don't have to deal with that from my side.
Yeah.
But with your mom, your mom's real hands off.
Yeah, and my parents also
And our
don't live
marriage.
anywhere close to us.
But
so
they also, I think they trust me enough.
They
like
do. They love
it's
you.
been 10 years.
it's been
And I ain't fumbled the bag yet.
years.
Yeah, their daughter's very well taken care of. They know they're well taken care of. They know like the
girls,
grandkids are well taken care of. I don't give them any reason to be alarmed about anything. And I think that's one of the secret ingredients in like these type of dynamics in a relationship is how much evidence have you put into your relationship that your partner doesn't have reason to worry about these things? I know she gonna worry about whether or not she gets left behind. So I mention her everywhere. And it's not just like a performative thing. I do it because I genuinely feel that way. I want you to know the way that, I want you to know how I feel about this thing. I want her to know the way that I feel about this thing. So I mention it often. It's always on my mind and heart. I don't know what I need. Cause I can easily be like, I want to just be like, oh, just continue to do what you do, but that's not gonna work for me long term, and I know that I'm gonna need more.
So how about this? I think that this is a high level question, and it's a question. Like, let's say you're a couple listening to this, and you're trying to get to that question. I think saying, "What do you need?" I don't know. Like most people don't know.
That's a tough question to answer.
So maybe it's a like little things. Like, I mean, this is like super super basic, but it's like there's one thing that you can take off my plate. Just for the season, what would it be? You know, and I think that starting with those smaller questions, because I feel like if you start with that high level question, it's going to be like everything that you've been waiting to say for the past 2 years that just all kind of comes out. And we've been there and we've done that, and it's never been helpful.
Nah, everybody gets shot up.
But like that's kind of like what we've been doing. Like I might like if like for the morning routine, if I'm taking the kids to school, you always handle breakfast. And if you're taking the kids to school, I'll handle everything. You know what I mean? Because I got to do hair anyway. So it's like I think sometimes with us, because we're both very analytical people, we don't necessarily have to have those conversations. We're creatures by habit. Once we realize something works, we just lean into that. But I think for some couples, it is helpful to have those like just minor conversations to work yourself up to something deeper versus going deep and then trying to go back from there.
I like that. I think another good prompt is, where do you see me struggling?
Oh, that's a really really
where
good
do you see me struggling? Because I think it's one thing to approach your partner with a list of things that they're not doing. There is that's rooted in something that feels a little accusatory and a little blaming. I think a more neutral approach, just to take the teeth off of that, is to give them the power and the autonomy. Like, yo, where do you see me struggling right now?
I
can't. I can't see it. Where do you see things just not working out for me? And based on that response, I think that's that was my elbow. Based on that response, I think that's a good place to like start having a conversation about how somebody can lean in. But I also have the expectation that you're just leaning in. You're not completing anything for me. You may take some stuff off of my plate, but you're leaning in temporarily to help. And then once the help is, once I'm not in critical danger, red line with my life meter flashing above my head, you lean back out.
But what if the question is to literally take something off my plate?
I think
that's a different conversation.
I think it's the same conversation, but I don't think it's as cut and dry as, okay, you used to do this thing, I'm gonna do it now. Because when you do that, that's too big of a jump. If it's not sustainable, it's going to create trust issues in your relationship. Like, let's say you like, hey, I can't do the girl's hair in the morning anymore. I need you to do that.
So that's you up tomorrow.
I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it because I want to step up to the bat. I want to prove to you that I'm a competent and capable partner. But I don't know how to do hair. I'm not confident in my hair abilities. I don't like to do hair. that's not realistic for me. So what's going to happen is I'm going to wake up with all the zeal and energy the next day, and I'm going to do some crazy pony puff that's going to look terrible. And then my confidence is going to get shot. The kid's going to hate the hair. You're going to hate the hair. You probably step in, let me fix it a little bit, which undermines the idea of us doing this whole thing. And then I eventually don't do it anymore. And now you feel away because you've explained to me the thing that needs to change, and we tried and it didn't work, and it makes me look like I quit on something that I promised to do. So instead of doing that, I'm like, hey, I can't do hair every day, but I can get all the supplies in one place for you. I can clean them up after you leave.
And he does.
You know, or I can do something different. You know, I think it's about, it's not just a one-shot deal. It's more of a negotiation between y'all to figure out not only what needs to be done, but what realistically works for the bandwidth and the abilities of the person that has to take over.
Oof, that's a bar. All right, I love that.
Relationships be hard.
Where do you see me struggling?
I see you struggling in a way that I think you take on too much sometimes, specifically when it comes to motherhood. I think you take on too much, and I think you're one of those people that you find a way to get things done. And I think that you lean on your ability to just get things done. And I think that you can always increase your bandwidth to be able to tolerate whatever happens. Noémie's a rubber band this big, and she could stretch around this house. But because you could stretch around the house doesn't mean that it's good for you or is necessary sometimes. And I think you do a really good job of checking yourself before it becomes way too much. But I see you just taking on too much with motherhood, because I think you have expectations from your childhood and how your childhood went, and you have dreams for these girls that are big. You want so much for them. And I think sometimes you're willing to self-sacrifice a little bit more than I feel like you have to in the moment in order to get it done.
It comes from me feeling like I need to be needed. Like,
you feel like you need to be needed by the girls? Really?
Just in general. Like, keep in mind, I was the fixer at my job.
Oh, you do be like, of course, I'm tripping.
I was the fixer. I was the person that everybody can depend on. I got accolades all the time for like launching this and being the lead of that. And whenever we need something, we know that Noémie is going to, step up. And I have... like, that is burned into my DNA now. That is burned into my personality. So while being able to like post the thing and like I quit my job and I'm retired and like that was cool, but it's like I'm in a place where everybody is really taken care of. Like, you're a great father. On the days that I'm in bed and I don't feel good, or if I'm sick, the kids are fine. I'll be waking up the next day, the house be clean, everybody ate, and I'm like, okay, so I wasn't really needed. For bills, I'm not really needed. For events, you know what I mean, and communication with our team, I'm not really needed. So it's just like, how do you kind of reconcile, like, you not being needed doesn't mean you're not important, but how am I okay to just chill when I really love being needed?
Can I push back on that?
Please.
I disagree that you're not needed. I think it's the way that you frame it in your mind.
Fine, yeah.
Because you remember that time when you traveled with Emery alone? And this wasn't one of the Kiers or super dad and husband junctions of our relationship. This was when she was telling me pretty frequently that I needed to step it up. And which I did not like, by the way. But looking back, I see what she was talking about. But she traveled somewhere with Emery solo, and she came back and she was like, baby, I appreciate you so much. She's paraphrasing. She said, I didn't realize how much you do until I didn't even have you there anymore. It's not that you're not needed. It's just, it's not like at your job that if you disappear, everything goes to hell and falls off the face of the cliff, the face of the earth. But like, none of this I can hold on for 2 days, maybe a week while you're sick. Long term, nah.
Oh, I know.
Like, I need you. It's just the structure here is so solid that you can afford to step away for a bit without everything burning to the ground. But babe, you are needed. And I know me telling you this doesn't fix the internal things that you think, but it's none of this works without you. It's not the way that you probably want to be needed, right? Yeah.
And it's not like I think that everything will burn without. No, I know it'll be fine, but it's like I'm somebody that values like having a tangible contribution to something, you know? And it's like, I think what makes me so frustrated with this conversation, like even when I tell people I'm a stay-at-home mom, you're more, I know I'm more, like I know, I don't feel less than, and maybe that's the problem, that I'm not articulating how I feel.
talking to themselves. They're not talking to you.
And I hate it
that
when
is
people
a projection.
talk to themselves.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't share. The reason why that's why I share on YouTube and not in real life.
Because people can't project in real time.
Or they can project in the comments and I can move on from
it.
But it's like my biggest issue is sometimes like being misunderstood.
Yeah.
And I've said it before, like I'm off center a little bit. Like we're all in the same space of where I'm feeling, but that's not quite it a lot of times. And then I just feel silenced and I feel misunderstood and then I don't want to open up anymore. So like I think like I don't know, it's definitely a struggle for me, but I'm just trying to figure out like what's a good fix, because it's not that I think you're not capable or like if I feel like if I don't do something that everything will be fine. If anything, it's more like I know that people don't need me. I know that, I mean, Sydney's also not a baby anymore. She doesn't need me to, like, all of these things were happening at the same time. Me breastfeeding and taking care of a baby and quitting and then getting a new house and furnishing the house. It's like, there's nothing else for me to do. Dang. And I'm bored.
You remind me of the farmer who really enjoys the process of tilling the soil and putting all the little seeds in the ground and watering them and fertilizing them. And like, that's your bag. But now, like,
we're in a season where we don't need that.
I mean, you know, those little seeds you planted, they grown to trees and they producing fruit now, you know.
Oh, I love that analogy.
And I hope you get to a point where you can just like enjoy the harvest, because we about to take a shift. I'm opposite of you. I hate all those things that you enjoy. The kids don't need me no more, praise God. Like, I love that. But as they get older, I think, and I see this with some of my clients who are moms, actually, it's going to be a real struggle to like try to find the sense of identity when your kids, not only do they not need you as much, but their lives are independent of yours.
They have their own things,
own friends, own lives, own agendas. When these girls touch 16, 17, like, they not none of that. They calling you just to, hey mom, I'll be home late tonight. That's it.
Oh my
you know,
God.
I'm trying to be with my friends. Oh, I can't wait. But I know that that's difficult for you. I can't wait. My God, please let that be tomorrow. I need that so bad.
It's okay. I have a lot of friends
with
kids the same age.
You crying, boo?
No, but it does make me emotional. I'm not gonna like boo-hoo, but it is like, it's a tough thing. It's a really, really, really tough kind of situation that like everybody has like a different feeling about motherhood. And I think I'm in a space where like motherhood is really like kicking people's ass, especially on the internet. Everybody is just like how frustrating, how tired they are, and how much like they hate it. And don't get me wrong, it's ghetto, but I love it. Like my motherhood journey, because of you, because of our tribe, is not as bad as it could be. Like I have a really supportive partner. I have a supportive tribe. My mom may not live here, but if I were to call her right now, she'll be here. She'll be here tonight, depending on what time
it's happened before.
It's happened before.
She'll find a flight and come same day.
Yep, my dad would too. You know, so it's like, it's not that I don't feel support. Like, what do I look like being a mom that's complaining about not feeling needed when mom's out here like, leave me the hell alone? Yeah,
they struggling, got nothing to do with you.
Like, and not to say that I don't have those same struggles, but it's like, I feel like what I'm going through is so much deeper, and I have so many different things happening at the same time. Leaving a lucrative career, being the support, you know, of somebody who's about to be like huge, you know, entertainment wise, like celebrity wise. Yes. Oh, and that's like so exciting, but like it's just a lot of cheering on for everybody here, and it's like, oh, you know, I don't know what that feels. Not that I want somebody to cheer for me, but it's just like, well, what's my thing that's just mine?
One thing I like about you though is you don't try to rush to what your next thing is. No. You're very patient in allowing it to come to you. You're very experimental. Like, you'll try some stuff and like, okay, that was cool. Like December down with Noémie cooking. Let's see what that. I don't really like that. Yep. Let's try this. Let's try a little coaching. That was cool. I don't really like that. Like, you're fine dabbling.
Yeah. I love to dabble.
And you don't throw your whole ass into something without really knowing whether or not that's what you want to do. So many people throw the baby out with the bathwater, just, you know, the whole thing at one time. Like, oh, take your time, bro. But I think you do a good job of pacing yourself and trying to figure out what makes sense for you. Yeah. So
the
even though
process is still fun for me.
What process?
The process of figuring it out. That's why I do it.
Yeah,
I like the process of dabbling is cool, but it's just like, okay, well, girl, you done dabbled for 2 years. What's up?
Professional dabbler.
I mean, honestly, I've had 15 different jobs, but yeah.
So what do you need?
I don't need anything new. I just need you to continue to show me grace. I need you to give me pockets of time, like continue to do the like, hey, you're doing good, but like, let's sit down and talk about it. Like, where do you want to go? I think like a lot of times because I dabble so much, people don't realize what my like big goals are. And when they hear it, they're like, oh, you wanted to do that? And it's like, yeah, well, I don't know. I need to talk through it. And I think a lot of times people have like these huge goals. You know, people are like, I want to make $1 million next year. And it's like, well, what are you doing in order to get to that
I hate
goal?
when people
like
say
that's
that.
a goal, but is it a tangible goal? And I just feel like I want to have more conversations about tangible goals, but people are so caught up in like, you can do whatever you want. I know, but like, I don't necessarily want to make $1 million next year, but like, how can I make, you know, 6 figures in brand deals or 5 figures in brand deals next year? Or like, I'm doing this Simmer Down Diaries. Like, do I want it? Like, do I want this to be something that I get, you know, paid for YouTube monetization? I don't know yet, but it's like, I don't not allow myself. I haven't gone there to have those conversations yet. And I would love
Conversations
to have
with yourself?
with myself or with you as my
Okay.
business partner. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But it's just like, people love the fact that I'm doing this on my own, but there's definitely a greater goal that I haven't really fleshed out yet. And because I'm in such a transitional space, I need somebody on the outside looking in to let me know like where they kind of see this heading so that I can see what's possible.
Yeah, for sure. I can
Yeah.
definitely do that. Sometimes you gotta walk toward the thing before you
Yeah.
realize like what it looks like.
Yeah.
You gotta get a little bit closer to it.
And I think you are like that too.
Oh,
I think you,
1000%.
because even right now, like talking about the career thing, what were we just talking about? A TV show? I don't know, something. We were talking about this big goal, and you were like, one day, and I'm like, we didn't even know we would hit 1 million right now. One day could be in 3 months.
One day could be in 3 months.
One day could really be. It takes one conversation with the right person to open that door.
My goals ain't really. My goals are more so. I don't worry about what's behind the door. That's behind the door. That's behind the door. That's behind the door. I'm just worried about the door right in front of me. And once I open that joint up, I'll make another assessment in which direction I want to go. But
This man got 3 doors in front of him, and he's like, what the hell is going on?
touch one knob. Ooh, it's a little hot. I don't want to go in there.
You're a lot more cautious than I am.
Yeah.
I'll be jumping out the water. I mean, or what is it?
We in 2 different positions though.
There's 2
I
totally
can't.
different
You
positions,
in a position where you like your dabbling is for your creative endeavors. It's to feed your soul. It's to maintain a sense of being and relevance and all of those things. Mine is to feed my family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what that pressure
Yeah,
feels like.
it's creating is different when you creating to feed your family. It's whether I want to. As soon as I stop this, I gotta do a creative concept form for a brand deal we just got the other day.
Oh, shoot.
Don't worry about it. I'm gonna knock it out.
Okay.
But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm looking at the time. I was like, uh-oh, 45
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah, no, I'm gonna knock it out. It's gonna be cool. But that's what I'm saying though. So
Yeah.
you're in that position. That's a beautiful place to be able to create, and it's still fun, and it's still like all of these.
You're in like business strategy.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely. It's
So
all
what do you
strategic.
need right now from me?
I was gonna say nothing, but it is something I need. I realize when you reach this like place where everybody knows your name, people know who you are, you're always in another city doing something with somebody seen on TV, people don't check in on you no more. My phone don't ring. Don't nobody call me to check up on me. Everyone assumes I'm always busy. And another thing I realized is that people don't get you gifts anymore. Nobody buys you gifts, man. I haven't received a gift in I don't know how long. I want gifts. It's stuff I like. It's a jacket that I like really badly, and I'm not gonna buy it for myself because it's a $300 jacket, and I know we're gonna have a dumbass $300 bill pop up, so I don't spend the money because I'm afraid of unforeseen bills, like I don't know, your daughter hurting her foot and having some type of weird thing done that costs a couple $1,000s that you didn't see coming, or your car deciding that it needs $4,000 worth of service out of nowhere. The unforeseen expenses are crazy. So I don't spend money on myself. I haven't bought clothes in a long time. I just take really good care of the stuff I got. I want gifts. I think Kier would like this, even if it's not big. I've never been a person to really want gifts in my life. I think I'm there now. Yeah.
Hey.
I want a token that
you are allowed to change your mind.
Yeah, man.
You are allowed. Ooh, that's another bar. And I feel like that's a whole nother conversation.
What that
But
is?
that you're allowed to change your mind.
That's my mantra.
I think a lot of times, but even in like relationships, like the love language thing, or like just how people are when we first kind of get together, they're going to change.
Yeah, I'm allowed to be a different person with time.
You're allowed to wake up and be like, you know what, I don't like red no more. I want blue now.
Yeah, this don't work for me no more. And I know I made a big fuss about it. Real talk, my bad, Holmes, but this is what it is now. And I'll be patient with you as you adjust. If you can be patient with me as I adjust.
I love that.
Yeah, I think that's what I need. And it seems mad superficial.
I don't think so.
I mean, in my mind, you can't convince me otherwise.
Yeah. Well, I know last year you were anti this because I saw it in my notes, but it's like I think you should have a list on notes that you share with me of just like things that you want. Remember I made a Christmas list and then you thought I was ridiculous?
Yes.
I went back on it, and that Christmas, this was in 2022, I think, or maybe it was 2023, but I gotta go back and look at the date. But I put all the things that I wanted from last year. I think it was like 7 things. Out of those 7 things, I got 3 of those things this year. It was like headphones. It was like a camera to shoot the vlog, and I just ended up using the old camera. Like, I think putting those things down so that like the people who love you, aka me, can look at it, so that when it is a good week and we got a couple extra dollars, I can go ahead and
that makes me feel so weird. It makes sense. It makes sense, but that, I don't know, that makes me feel weird.
It's
as a person
just
who's not used to getting
counterproductive
gifts.
then, because it's
I know.
you know, how
expecting you to
and
just.
the last thing I want to do is get you something that you don't want.
Man, that's how I feel every Christmas and birthday for you.
But that's why I said list.
Yeah, okay, I'll work on that. I hate that idea right now. I think it's brilliant, but I hate the idea for me. I do. I ain't gonna hold you. I hate the idea, but you're right.
And I think another thing,
I just don't want to hear it.
Well, then let's move on for that. I think another thing is, I read this article somewhere, I think it was somebody's Substack, about friendships, and it was just like telling your friends what you need. She was talking about how she had a conversation with her friend, and it was a low point, and she's the friend that never asked for anything, so her friend didn't offer anything, and she was just like, I need you to call me every single day and ask me how I'm doing, and I'm not going to answer, I'm going to fight you, but I need you to keep asking me until I tell you that I'm okay. And then the friend was like, okay, bet. And she did that. And I think that like in those kinds of situations, I could have totally see it go left. You don't ever say anything, this friend doesn't show up for you, and now y'all have a strained friendship because nobody communicated. Or you told the friend what you needed, they didn't see how serious it was and they didn't do it, and now you feel like, you know, stabbed in the back or whatever. But I think that maybe with me, with your friends, with the people in your lives, maybe having that conversation again. I know you've had it before.
Yeah, I've told my friends that, hey, I need you to call me every week, please, because I'm not doing okay.
Yep. And just like, but continuing, if these are people that, you know, you care about, and like giving grace to them, because maybe it takes a couple of times for them to take it seriously. Maybe it takes them seeing you in a low moment.
Is this general advice or advice for me?
General.
Okay, got it.
General, whether they see you in a low moment, but like getting more comfortable saying those things out loud.
Yeah, because I can
really help.
I can tell you, I told my friends that, and I didn't know what response I was going to get, but yeah, that's a conversation about needs. Damn, that wasn't as hard to have as I thought it would be.
I didn't think it would be hard.
Oh yeah, I did. I thought it'd be hard. I thought it would be hard for me. You're a little bit better at being vocal.
I'm the complete opposite. I thought it would be better for you because you've been talking about, like, I guess this is kind of shifting in a different direction, but for somebody who spends so much time talking about mental health and stuff like that, like, it's always, shocking is the wrong word, it's always interesting to me to hear about the things that you struggle with mental health wise versus like how you're a huge advocate of mental health, how you're a huge advocate for my mental health, how you're a huge advocate for our girls' mental health. So when you come back and you say that you've been struggling with things, it's always like, wow, really?
Emotions are the great equalizer. I don't care how much knowledge you have about something. Once you start feeling emotions, it compromises the way you attack it every single time. Emotions are the great equalizer. If I can tell you exactly how to fix all of your problems in your life, but I can't fix those problems in my life the same way. 1, because I'm too close to it, so too much is in my blind spot. And 2, I'm emotionally invested in my own life, and my emotions hijack my thinking. Just like they hijack her thinking, just like they hijack your thinking. That's what emotions do. So I I find it funny that people think I don't struggle with stuff in my life.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I got depression too. Like, you think I'm exempt because I know a lot about depression. I know how to treat it. Nah, depression got hands and it fights me all the time. I be getting my ass beat. It's not different for me because I have a different skill set. But yeah, I'm a human. I struggle with the same things y'all struggle with.
The great equalizer. That's
Equalizer.
real.
Yeah.
That's
Shout
real.
out to Denzel Washington.
I feel like, okay, let me preface this by saying I really appreciate everything that you share with me about how I
People think that we don't talk like this in
we
real
talk
life.
like this all the time.
I just thought about this sound.
I talk the way that I write.
Yeah, it's so
Very
funny because I can see
professional.
somebody watching this be like, they know damn well they don't talk like
Reading
that.
the teleprompter. Yes, I do, and it's so annoying. Like I be reading my text messages to my friends. I'm like, why do you sound like a freaking like square? Like, what's wrong with you?
I love when people think we not real. We put it on for the
We are
camera.
nerds, man.
Nah, let them think we not real. It's all for the
Okay,
camera.
fine.
I love that.
But what I was gonna say is like I really do appreciate everything that you were saying about like how I take on too much and with motherhood specifically, and I agree with you. I don't feel stretched thin as far as like tasks in life, but I do feel stretched thin in motherhood, and I definitely want to take some of the things off of my mommy plate and put them into the Noémie plate, and I really want to do that going into the new year. But I do want like, and because I feel like I do have bandwidth. It's just unevenly distributed.
I hear that. Yeah.
But I want to be able to take something else off of your plate.
Off of my plate?
Yeah.
In terms of what?
Just anything that you need to kind of get you to a place where things aren't as heavy. Because this is the thing, like in a marriage, yeah, you got to deal with your own stuff. You got to deal with your stuff with your children. But I feel like if you continuously look at yourself as an individual in your marriage and not learn how to share loads more often, that it can lead to us separating in a lot of places. So if there is something that's on your plate, like something small, that's like, babe, like you handle the gas bill, like you make sure that make sure I don't forget to pay the gas, like something simple. For me, for example, like the tuition, our private school tuition, it stresses me out because for some reason I forget that it comes out every month. Like, and every month around the 15th, I'm always like, damn, the bill, you know what I mean? And it gives me so much stress, even though it's not really stressful. We know that it's coming. So like one thing that I would tell you that I would need you to take off of my plate is like checking in with certain bills. Like, hey babe, did we pay that bill? Or did we pay the Amex? Or did we do this? Because like when I get the email or when I get the phone call, I shut down.
Damn, I just asked you if we paid the Amex.
But it was helpful because I was like,
I thought I was on your ass.
no, it was in my calendar. And we didn't talk about it.
It'd be like that.
But
It'd be like that.
And then I feel bad because I should have been on top of
It'd
it.
be like
And
that,
that's my
man.
responsibility.
Yeah,
but
it'd be like that.
anytime I come to you and I'm like, babe, I forgot. It was supposed to be 2 days ago. You don't ever trip on me because you understand that it's a human.
Mm-hmm.
We got mad stuff that we're dealing with. But like those extra touch points are helpful.
Okay.
Because
I didn't know that. That's
I didn't know that until this morning when we talked about it.
I leaned in on that. I ain't got no problem with that whatsoever.
Yeah, so I don't want you to think that because I'm so stretched thin that I can't handle more things. I'm just stretched thin in one kind of area where I think I am doing too much in motherhood.
I don't think you can't handle things. That's not the way I see it. I think you I think motherhood is the area that's smashing you. I always say, I told my barber, I can't be a good father, a good husband, consistent in the gym, consistent with social media content, and a good businessman at the same time. And have good mental health. I can't do those 6 things all at the same time. I can only do 3 very well. So I do those 3 in rotation.
That is real.
I can't. I ain't been in the gym in 3 months. I feel horrible.
Yeah.
But my kid's good. My wife's good. My mental health is returning back to a place that I actually love. Business is doing good. So I focus on the things I can focus on, and I discard the idea that I can have and do everything. I know that makes us feel good as humans. You can do it all. If that's the way you feel, go for it. That ain't my reality. I can't have it all. I can't do it all. And if I can, I can't do it well. So I just try to focus on the things that are most easily accessible to me in the moment, and I go from there, man. I think fatherhood is about to be it's about to turn up on me because my baby's 7 and she got real human needs now. It's getting heavy over here. So okay.
What can I take off of your plate?
She's holding my hand, y'all.
'Cause I love him. And it's a lot. There's a lot that you don't see that he does behind the scenes.
I don't know, babe. I need a minute with that because I can't think it. You do a lot. Like,
yeah, I do a lot for you.
You do a lot. It's you do the little tasks. I don't want to have to worry about giving a speech and also have to worry about if my meetings are running into each other the next day. Like Noémie, I don't have an assistant right now, and Noémie is filling the gap for my assistant. And the reason that she makes it so hard is because if I have an assistant, they don't know our family schedule.
Yep.
Like, I had a meeting about my book. Damn, I don't want to bore y'all, but y'all here, so here we go. I had a meeting about my book yesterday, and we realized we're not gonna meet again until the beginning of the year. So I was like, hey, yo, let's get another meeting on the calendar. She was like, bet, let's get another meeting on. Let's do Friday. All right, cool. I said Friday at 1 o'clock. I'm like, talk to my team. I don't handle my own schedule. Talk to my team because I'm gonna mess that up. Whole time, Noémie, as soon as she got on the phone, Noémie, nope, he can't do that time because we got something Friday. Yep. My assistant might not know that or be that plugged in. Yep. So like, you taking away administrative I don't want to have to think about giving a speech in front of 10,000 people and then have to worry about whether or not it makes sense for other logistics that are going on around me, when that's something that's easy for you to do. It's quick and you love doing it. I love to do it. You love doing it, man. And she told me, don't ever take that away from me. So I'm going to have to get an assistant at some point. But just like, if you can continue to do that, that's helpful. Like, that's helpful. That's very, very helpful. And also not fight me on the ways I want to push in and help you. Because when you're less stressed, I'm less stressed.
I'm better.
You're way better. I mean, she pick up and drop off the kids from school. So I'm like, hey, babe, will me dropping the kids off tomorrow help you? And Noémie will go, I guess. And I'm like, I ain't it. I guess it ain't going to help that much. I ain't going to do it. But now I'm like, hey, I'm dropping the kids off tomorrow.
And now I was like, babe, it's so helpful when you do that. And now the whole schedule is different.
That works. Yeah. It works. And now we worked it out. We worked it out. So
talk to your partners, people.
that's I think that's helpful for me. That's what you can do for me right now.
So I feel like we're in a good spot going into the new year.
Yeah. I felt like we were in a good spot. I feel
I was hopeful, but I didn't think about it.
I've been thinking about it a lot. Yeah. I felt like we were in a good spot. And I hope that you all are in a good spot, either in your relationship with your partner or your relationship with yourself, or maybe even your relationship with parenthood or just being an adult. I don't know where you are, but give us some comments below. Tell us where you are with things. Tell us what you're looking forward to. By the time this drop, I don't know when it's going to be. We probably shouldn't mention times, but I don't care.
Nobody cares.
You might see this in October 2026. Who knows? But we thank y'all for tuning in today, man. As we kind of work through some of our thoughts, we hope that this was helpful to you and the way that you kind of navigate in life as a human. Make sure you hit the notification button so that you can know of all of our posts as soon as they post. And make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, because that's how we know you family for real.
Amen.
You got anything to add?
Nah, that was great. Happy New Year. We're definitely in a new year. We don't know what year it is, but Happy New Year.
The sit down talk is bike.
Hey.
Y'all be good. Till next time. Bye.